We're in Clonakilty Community Hospital here today with Cahalane brothers. Delighted to be here with you guys. Maybe we just do a quick round of introductions, maybe starting from Ellen.
John, Gabriel, I'm the PM on the project here.
My name's Eithne, I'm safety with Cahalane's.
Johnny, site manager here on this project.
Donal Cahalane, director of Cahalane Brothers.
Excellent. And I guess this is a quite interesting project. It's it's partly alive, it's an operational hospital, and yet you guys are doing a major retrofit. You might just want to tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as you say, it's a live hospital. All wards are fully live. Thankfully, we get some of the blocks handed over where the patients have moved out, but the facility itself is live, and we're doing a full energy upgrade to the project with new windows, external insulation, and a new energy centre over there to the right hand side of it. So yeah, it's a huge project on a live facility. But so far it's going quite well.
Yeah, and look, I think importantly it's a pilot scheme for the HSE, so it's one they're quite interested in learning how to do it, how to deliver these projects, and how to roll them out, I suppose, across their estate, which is massive. So yeah, it's an exciting one to be involved in, and look,
very much so.
We've been fortunate, I suppose, to learn about energy upgrades and previous projects. We've delivered, again, pilot schemes for the Department of Education, and also most recently, I suppose Gabriel was leading a project for us for UCC, where they upgraded MPRII Arena, one of their facilities. So yeah, it's good to kind of learn and
move forward. And
Excellent.
Bring stuff with you.
Very good. And I guess just you guys are obviously based in West Cork and Dunmanway, and you've done a lot of work around Clonakilty. This is home from home for you guys.
Look, our base is only 20 minutes over the road. Four of us here, we're in West Cork. We've, I suppose, about 90 people on the books, and the majority of them are based within West Cork. So look, third generation company, limited company in 1953. So I suppose my father was managing director. His father and uncle would have set it up, and we'd have traded for a number of years before starting as Cahalane Brothers and as a limited company in 53. So it's a great connection, and even here on this campus and in Clonakilty, we've done so much in the town of Clonakilty. I came back having walked abroad, and I think it was nearly 11 years ago now, we took on the Clonakilty Black Pudding Factory. It was a big project for us. We were given a great chance. But as a young fellow, I suppose, starting out to work, we would have been loaded into a van in the morning, sent off out the road with a foreman, and I think I've worked on a couple of projects here over the years. Some going back about 22 years ago, and it's nice to be. There's wards there where we did. Lads were talking about it a while ago. There's shop fronts recreated for shop fronts that were in the town in Clonakilty that are recreated inside in one of the wards here. It's a nice little touch that our carpenters would have delivered that. Going back, I'd say that project might be 15 years ago now at this stage. So yeah, it's nice to be in Clonakilty, and there's a good range of projects here. Pudding factory on one side of the town, distillery at the roundabout coming through the town, and there's a community fire station actually, which was recently opened, and a community college, which was kind of a €10 million project that was delivered about 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, there's a nice mix.
Community services there. Very good. And I guess just the reason we're here today, I guess from a CF perspective, is we have a theme for January, which is refocus on site safety. This is linking back to our October construction safety campaign, and the theme of that was back to basics. At the time, we had circa 5 fatalities confirmed. We now know there were 10 fatalities in construction last year. So I guess the CIF, it's really endorsed by our Safety and Health Subcommittee. There's a consensus that we need to go back to basics and to refocus on the critical risks. And in discussions with the regulator, working at height, working with mobile plant and machinery and falling objects, they're the critical risks that the construction faces. I guess just in terms of this site here, I guess, is that important to you guys, this refocus on safety?
It especially is here, in this site, especially is here. We have 2 aspects to worry about in this site, though. We have the safety and welfare of every person that's performing a task here for us today, okay? Every single person is. But we also, another aspect here that comes up is the safety and well-being of the actual user in the service here. So we have a very unique project, like when Donal touched there, it's a pathfinding project. We have two elements of safety here. We just doesn't have one. It's a construction site, but yet it's a live environment site as well. So we have two aspects of safety that we have to think about every single day of the week here. We go about the aspect of safety. First, about into our protocol is dust management, dust suppression, aspergillosis risks, all that sort of things, zones, areas, fire escape routes, all sorts of things there, dealing with the service and how to keep the service going was more than anything else, and the patients and the occupancy and the staff that's within the service here, that is priority number one for us here, to be fair. We have to deal with that challenge first before we ever drive a nail, cut a piece of timber and everything. So that's the first aspect of safety in this job, which is unique because you normally don't have that in an open site. You have a site and you're always construction based. So that's the very first thing we have to think. Then we go through all our construction elements and how we go about our work, how we set up our work, how we do our RAMs, and how we execute our work and tidy up the areas and hand it back to the HSE. So you have a very unique project in that aspect. So you have two things. So we, at the very start of this job, we would have dialed everything back and said, like, a fresh approach to this job, there, a fresh understanding of the client and what the client needs and how they go ahead. That was a big thing. So that was really kind of did it. And I'll probably speak a bit more about that now to hear. But that was really a wake-up call for us too as well at the very start of this project to say, oh lads, we need to reset here because we have a different project. And the different project is because it's such a live environment inside here. And there's unique cases inside here too as well. You have a high risk to the patient that's inside here and the service user that's inside here. So
vulnerable.
So vulnerable.
Yeah.
It was
vulnerable.
there. Yeah. So we went back to basics on that alone before the construction side of things. Maybe, to be fair, to our bread and butter. But I would say we definitely went back to basics on providing the service with a safe environment while we construct and go through this project basically. There.
Excellent. And we've just been listening there to some mobile plants moving, and you say we're not too far away from the operational side. So no doubt it's a challenge for you guys. And I guess just to bring out, obviously, you guys are demonstrating, leadership in safety. How do you bring everyone else along with you? Like, do you find that that's a challenge, or is there any golden rules you'd adhere to?
Well, it was, from my point of view, I mean, day-to-day management would be my biggest thing for the whole site, to keep the site running efficiently and safely. Okay, to be fair, Eithne does a lot of work here on, we'll say, construction management, and we'll review every single, traffic management, we'll review every single app before we actually implement it. And like, she'll do that with the site-based team every time before we actually roll it out. That's important. It's the very first step. It has to be, because you can't be on site knowledge. You know what will work, you won't know what will work. The other thing is, like, if the management buys into on the ground and say, okay, you get your team to buy into it better. And it's all about the team buy into it. Our biggest piece of plant here is our loader driver up and down here he's servicing 6 to 5 years of this hospital at one time. So he's the key component for traffic management for us here, right? Okay, yeah. Then your delivery drivers, then your outside companies, anything. You can send out that traffic management to every single one of them and notify them if there's special requirements and special times and special zones and all that. They're all informed ahead of that, okay? That gives them a chance also to come back with their issue and say, Jesus, no, that supplier, we have to deliver within certain times. And we can adapt the traffic management plan then to suit all that sort of things. But the very first step is Eithne does it in-house, okay? She's reviewed with the management team, the actual on-the-ground management team, which is a great approach to any traffic management, because we all can go to an external company and they put together lovely management there, and it doesn't work on site. Yeah. The biggest thing, it has to work for the site there. And we do that well, I believe, in Cahalane Brothers there.
Like, within, I'd say, about 5 weeks this project's kicking off, we had to change our traffic management plan, because what we had devised in an office didn't relay onto the actual operations the way we were working. So we had to sit down and rejig it. Yeah.
I think there's a credit to the HSE staff as well that we're working in with. There's good tie-in there. Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't work on a live campus. Yeah. And again, thinking back to UCC there as well, there was a team that bought into it. They knew the work was done. We weren't seen as an inconvenience. There was, we were going to realise a project for them and help them through it. And it's that partnership that's the success to these kind of environments. So, we have a team there that are working with them, adapting with them, realising, it's not just the patients that are here, it's hospital staff, it's deliveries, it's other contractors, maintenance contractors. There's so many facets to it. So, but it's being proactive, it's being considerate, it's being cooperative. That's how it succeeds.
Jerry and Gabriel are here and available to the HSE as well, staff,
Yeah, I agree.
so they appreciate that too. You know, they can approach them when problems come up. They're addressed here on site. You know, we sit down, we talk about them, and they're addressed. And you know, there's input from both parties. You know, it's not just done.
Like if we're there then from staff, all the staff on site and weekly toolbox talks and weekly and daily whiteboard meetings, and then we've bi-weekly meetings with the services team as well. So really what's happening on site, what areas we're going to be working in for the segregation.
Thank you, and I guess that obviously, so everyone's acutely aware that the challenges, as you say, with the client being here on site. And I guess I'm aware as well that Cahalane Brothers, they're accredited to safety certs. You might just talk me through in terms of, was that a journey for yourselves? Do you find it beneficial?
Look, it certainly was. I think, again, I returned back, and the first buy-in I had with the safety cert, it had been established and I think run with the company 2 years in a row prior to my return to the company. But it was the Clonakilty Black Pudding factory. It was the first time I prepared for an audit and went through an audit there, and that was a learning curve for me, and I suppose it was a learning curve for the company. But we've grown with that. It's not just, I suppose we don't view it as just a thing that you're audited on. It's something you're given learning points, you're given actions, you're given improvement notices, and that's built us up to a point where we've more structures in place. It started with a basic safety statement, I suppose, before safety cert, and then we're now A grade with safety cert for the last number of years, and we're in a position now where we can, and we are, I suppose Eithne is doing great work to lead us onto ISO, and you'll probably speak better on that than I will.
Yeah, because we've reached the A grade and safety cert, the next step for us now is integrate our management system in safety, quality and environmental for the company, and I definitely think safety cert brought us here, so that put in that foundation for us. Now we're kind of tying in all our procedures together and really making a robust system that way for the company.
And just to Jerry and Gabriel here, the safety cert audit this year was for this site. So complex site. There's a lot of things that had to be shown to be right here for us to maintain that A grade. So look, it's a credit to them that we got through with flying colours this year.
It's a credit to the company itself as well, though. Like you look, just from a career point of view there, you look at a company, you think you're changing a company, you can come to there. First thing you look into is IOS accreditation, safety cert accreditation. They're kind of coming standards, I wouldn't say minimum standards, but they're standards that any credible company is adhering to nowadays too. So to be fair, any credible company there will have those standards, and you'll know then that that's a happy place and a happy environment in to work within, and it's a safe environment to work in. So like it is a good thing for any company to have as well. So like that would be my view on it, you know.
But obviously the management system in place around this Plan New Check Act, so you're constantly reviewing data.
Yeah.
I guess, do you find that as a challenge? That we're in January, the need to go again, drive improvements, or do you get motivated by that?
But the targets that set there every year are a good thing. Like
it is. It's great to have. We've stage 1 audit to look forward to, and it's we want the job to be delivered well. Yeah, it's local to all of us.
But look, I think it has been a focus since we come back in January, right? There's such a build-up, I suppose, to Christmas outside of work, and even within work, there's excitement there. People are getting ready for a Christmas party and office parties and other parties, and then you pass the Christmas break. I think getting back in January and doing that back to basics, having the site right, having it clean, having it organised. Credit to the crew here again. The compound there is always a good barometer of the site, and when you go into a compound and it's orderly, you're stepping into a site that's run well and managed well, and that sets the tone. Years ago I would have said, it's a site that you open a site and you're opening foundations. It could be a house, and the first person there, if they wear their hard hat, they commit to wearing the PPE, it just sets the tone and it works from there. And that's obvious here that there's an expectation there, and that was followed. And it's, again, just, walking the site here, looking at the different work areas under scaffold and the compound. You know, it's not pristine. It is a building site, but it's a great standard. So anybody that comes in then sees that, and they know they have to fit into that. Any subcontractor, any new employee, they know what they have to walk into. So it makes it much easier for safety to be delivered when you have those standards there.
And the other thing about this project, like I said, there's targets set here within this project. Like there's you have an overall program here, but you have a mini program that we're adhering to nearly from week to week, unit to unit, block to block. Like this is broken down to 15 different blocks. So it'll keep you focused at all times. You're resetting every 3 to 4 weeks here. Like the block behind us is block 9 currently at the moment. There's a 5-week program for that thing. So that has to be heading back to the HSE in 5 weeks' time in pristine condition. And then it's giving you a great chance to reset every time then you're going to a block. So you're learning from the mistakes. If you did make a mistake inside block 9, that you can improve in the next block. So that's a good thing. Now we're lucky as well. We had a phase of this works block 4A there before Christmas. So, and then we moved into another block 4B just before Christmas, and they gave us a great chance to have that block ready for after Christmas as well. It was lucky. It was just the way it was programmed. To be fair, we stopped the week before the thing. We had got our handover dates, got our stuff that way. It gives a great thing to reset and start again the new year. And that means a new approach straight away. Not a new approach, the same approach, but to the same standard. And every 4 to 5 weeks, then 4 to 5 weeks there, you're handing back a block here. You're setting a standard again. I do see at times if they're inside in the multi-million-pound project, say, and there's 18 months to 2 years to 3 years there inside in there, you'll see standards slip away down along there. With this project, it doesn't. Again, like I say, 4 weeks in this area, 3 weeks in this area, 5 years out there, and the common practice is it gives you, we're all finished there, we're into the next area, and the standard stays the exact same for every area we take over every block there. So that's a good thing from this. The project doesn't come stagnant from a health and safety point of view. It's always a moving and evolving, and the standards are set every 4 to 5 weeks, or reset every 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, that's a powerful message. I guess I'm just thinking about the takeaway message for for other entities. That whole reset. It's really good, isn't it? You reflect on what went well, what were the lessons learned.
And it's something that you could take into a bigger project, break it down here from a health and safety point of view. No, not necessarily you have to break down the whole programme, but you can break down health and safety, reset every 4 or 5 weeks inside in a bigger project if you want to. It works well here because we're going from block to block to block, and it's just working adapted to the programme. But if you're into an 2-year programme, there's no reason why you can't do a 6-week safety reset. Right, lads, 1 second now, we'll walk to the site, we'll do an audit, we'll do this, we'll do a reset there, and there's no reason why them things can't be implemented into a bigger job or a different site, not necessarily a bigger job, a different site there. And it's things that we pick up and we learn on this job now, to be fair. And again, like I say, it's a Pathfinder project, so there is plenty learnings in this job,
Been plenty technical challenges, certainly. I look at comment just in terms of the company as a whole. We're lucky. We have a very stable workforce. We have people with us long term. Speaking about me going out as, a young student, out to jobs and getting summer work and so on. I was travelling with foremen who are still with the organisation now, and it's a great strength. And we train apprentices ourselves. We would have met one of them our own, a great example, a carpentry apprentice earlier. And those people come up through the company. They might finish their apprenticeship, spread their wings, go off, visit Australia and do other things. But we've had a positive experience with it. And, some of them have come back to us as well. They've come back with more experience. They've taken on additional, their shoulders a bit broader. They can take on more responsibility and, walked into foreman positions then or charge hand positions and taken on responsibility. So I think, we're working within a cohort here. People who are working on this project, they follow us project to project. And again, for our subcontractors, that's the case as well, that we're working with people within the locality by and large. We're familiar with them, they're familiar with us, they know our work practices, and they know the expectation, and that standard and that culture kind of follows on from job to job, which is, it gives us great stability. You're not re-educating a workforce every time you're facing into projects. So it's something for us, by having direct employees, loyal subcontractors, who that works 2 ways. We have to be loyal to them as well. But that's the company has reaped, I suppose, the benefits of that over the last number of years in terms of growing and taking on kind of larger and more technical projects.
There is a sense of pride, I guess, I'm detecting, you know, from just talking to you guys today. And I guess if you were to hang your hat up and retire tomorrow and looking back on your careers, is there any project that you're proud to be involved in that, you know, you'll be telling grandkids about in time to come?
Yeah. And so, like the UCC was a very interesting project for us, like one that I've done with you guys. That was again a live London, and an energy upgrade. That was a really interesting.
That was our first project with UCC on a UCC framework, and look, I gone to college there. I'd enjoyed the benefits of Marrick Arena, I suppose, over a number of years while I was a student, and to go back inside there and work in a live campus. We were replacing a main atrium roof light there as part of the project. We also had to re-insulate the roof over the swimming pool, replace AHUs. It was a tricky project, but there's 3,000 people in the door of that building every day. Yes. And we had to deliver our work around those users and those staff, and, you know, deliver it safely. So that was a nice one to come back to.
In a short program.
But I don't know. I always think you can drive around West Cork and I can look at a footpath I floated years ago, or, you know, it could be stone wall, and even there, like, I suppose this is maybe an anti-safety thing, but there's a photo of myself and two of my brothers as kids doing a site visit to a compound before. It was an old railway yard in Dunmanway. And that became an ESB depot, and at the time a shop, I suppose, for the ESB, selling white goods. But ESB was kind of the thing to do in the early 90s. But we came back to that building. We did an energy upgrade in that building as well in the last couple of years. And that was a project, it was probably one of the first projects my father was responsible for when he was cutting his teeth. And I suppose emerging from kind of you know, taking on responsibility from his father and uncle. And it was nice he went back and delivered that job and delivered the energy refit and that. So, yeah, I suppose that pride kind of, it can be generational as well, like that you're going back and you're revisiting work. And again, it's here that, you know, there's work delivered by various trades and foremen here over a number of decades. And we're back and we're kind of, some of it we're doing and redoing because technology has moved on, but, you know, more of it remains. So that's it's nice, yeah.
I suppose from a tradesman background, pride is something that should be instilled from day one. Whether it is a little bit of skirting, a door, plastering a wall, no matter what task or what thing you should have pride in within your work. It's something that we struggled probably in years gone by. It would have been probably better in the more modern era. People don't really take as much influence or much pride of us over the work as much as there, and probably from a management point of view, that's probably getting more difficult from year to year to year. But in fairness, though, it's something that should be instilled into everyone, and I do think it's still instilled into everyone that's involved in management, because they want to deliver a project with pride, no matter what. They want to drive past 17 years' time and say, I delivered that project, or I was involved in that project, and that we helped deliver that project. And you can say every time you drive past it, every time you drive past it there, I'm building 20 plus years now, and my partner keeps saying to me, like, Jesus, they didn't think that you hadn't been involved in around West Cork. You know, she'd say, oh geez, I worked in there, I worked in there. But like, that's our pride, not necessarily one project. The previous project I was involved with was Clonakilty before I came here. I would say that was a very nice project to be involved in. There was a heritage side probably of the existing building. There was a brand new RC building put onto it, so you had a lovely mix between both. To be fair, you were modern and old there. In 6 months' time, I'd probably say, geez, Clonakilty was a lovely project to be involved in. It evolves every time, and you're what, for the want of a better word, your brochure or your CV, if you want to call it, it'll involve. But pride should be instilled in every single person involved in construction, whether it is the man plumbing inside there, the man putting on the plasterboard inside there. They should feel pride in every project they're involved in. And that's one of the biggest reasons I got into construction, is because you can say, I built that, or helped in that, or helped in this, and you can say, I helped to deliver that project, and it's very rewarding, and that's a thing that should be kind of promoted more, to be fair, because it's a big industry plus. Yeah, for every single person there, they should walk over that project and say that they're immensely proud of delivering that project. There.
Yeah, you're leaving a legacy behind, aren't you? You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't say legacy. Legacy probably be more, to be fair, would be delivered by Cahalane, but it says, but the people involved in the project, I would say, from my own point of view, would be, Jesus, I helped deliver that project, you know, or I helped get that project to a standard where I was happy walking away from it, you know, like that's where things like legacy, to be fair, would be hugely important to inside in Cahalane Brothers as a company in general, to be fair. But what I kind of want to focus that back onto is the actual individual being proud of every single task you do or everything he completes, you know.
Like definitely something I am in a lucky position that I get to go around to all the sites, so I get to see the lads in all the sites, and I'm in awe always of what they can do. Like it's so undervalued what they can do, and like when it comes to safety, then working with these guys, they're immensely talented and capable, and they're focusing on their work and whatever. And I would always just try and like bring them with me, you know, just to look at something, because what they're doing is amazing, and to go in and, you know, talk down, oh, you haven't done this one simple thing, when they're literally building stuff that we're going to use forever. Like I can't get on board with that kind of, you know, giving out, you know, kind of safety. Like, you know, you take them away from it, you're like, oh, what can we do here? And like, it just clicks with them so quickly because they're so creative and they're so talented. Like, genuinely, all the lads, like what like Cahalane has delivered is amazing, but it's the work crews as well that have done, and the men on the ground have like delivered amazing things around the place. Definitely. It's brilliant to see.
Don't get me wrong, there's some days you don't want to choke them, like.
Yeah, well, I look by and large,
positives.
the culture in the company is to bring people up. You know, it's and it is that there's things can go wrong. Certainly, there's challenges there. There's, you know, you're trying to do a project and there's so many things you must face into and try and complete and deadlines to meet and those challenges.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges.
I suppose, well, we always try and engage in those challenges positively. You know, they're there to be done and we can take them on. You know, that's the way we try and view it. But it's, I suppose, I'm after losing the train of thought.
You're having those conversations, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's bringing, like they'll all do it. It just might not, like, you know, they'll focus on the work maybe. You know, like, and it is that refocus. And the minute you refocus, like, because they've done it and not just been given out to, they've like stepped back, done it with you, and then they've learned it, you know. But like this ongoing learning always. And like sometimes, you know, one thing doesn't undo all the brilliant work and talent that's out there. You know?
And I think that's it. That has to be the starting point. They're valued. They're creating this, you know, as part of a group. But like, you know, there's so much, being delivered, so much being created, so much being done at a, you know, in terms of a high standard, with pride, and it's to instill that, and then you can bring the safety in quite easily when you start from that position. And it's something, you know, again, it leads into the DNA of the company, what we are, who we are, training people, bringing them with us, you know, kind of, I suppose, giving people a long-term future, giving them the opportunity to live in West Cork, and grow in West Cork, and, you know, raise their families in West Cork and so on. So, you know, it's just, I suppose, following that structure and kind of setting that out is, that's the platform whereby bringing safety, bringing quality, it becomes a lot easier when that individual knows that they're valued and they're appreciated, and, you know, that there's a team there that are going to be with them in the long term as well. That's something we really boast about when we bring people in at any level of the organisation, is that you know that you're not just delivering this project with the team around you, you're going to go on to the next one. And, you know, maybe there'll be different components coming in and you'll get to meet more of the company as you go on to face different projects. But those people want you to succeed. It's not like they know they're never going to see you again after 3 months. They're going to invest in you because you're going to the next place with them or with one of their counterparts. So, again, learning, coaching, whether it's apprentices in terms of their trade and capability, or their understanding of safety and what's expected of them and how they protect those around them. That becomes easier when you're coming from that platform. And it's probably because of where we are and our kind of geographic focus. It becomes easier to kind of deliver on those objectives,
There's nearly an external accountability on them. You know, if they're here, they want to perform, you know, they know people in the localities that they work in as well, you know.
Good, and it sounds like there's a a nice culture being formed, you know, like filling those values, and the fact that you have that methodical approach, that, you know, a management system approach, you're leveraging that. So it seems to be seems to be in harmony. Just really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Some days anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to, on behalf of CIF, like to thank you guys for facilitating us here today, and for promoting the refocus on safety. I hope people online just you know, got some nuggets of information. I certainly have. So thank you for your time.
Yeah. Look,
Thank you for visiting.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks, John. It's great to see the CIF come down to West Cork. And look, we're well supported in the Cork region. I'm smiling over at George here, who was down with us today as well. But like, it's, I suppose we've taken good benefit out of the CIF. It gives us the opportunity to feed in at a national level, and I know in the last couple of weeks I've been burning certain people's ears within the organisation about different things and different changes that we want to see happening. But those changes are in place by and large, and you know, it was great for you to have you out today and present to, you know, our wider workforce and let them see that there's changes happening in the Safe Pass, that's being revamped, that it's not, you know, it's going to be improved, that it's going to be maybe more focused on additional learning rather than trying to retrain them on the things they know already or are familiar with. So that's a small thing, but like that, you know, that matters to the individuals here, and I think they'll have taken a great thing out of that, and you know, they'll be able to look the next time they see something from the CF, they know, well, that's an organisation I know. So look, you know, and that's really beneficial in terms of reinforcing safety for us as well.
We gave a toolbox talk kind of notifying the lads here yesterday, you know, and one topic I did say was like that the CIF is there for everyone. Every single person that's involved in the thing there, they do feel some that time the person on the ground will see a small bit removed from the CIF, to be fair. You know, they say it's a massive organisation. Where am I involved? Where's my input to that? And we did bring that up in the toolbox talk yesterday to say that here's your opportunity. Not saying your opportunity is always there with the CIF, but showcase what you're about, showcase what you want to get out of construction and stuff that way, and bring it to the table today. To be fair, and you see up in your own toolbox talk in today, John, that people are engaged in that, and the next day all of a sudden they realise that the CIF is down here in West Cork, is available to us, is our organisation, you know, like, and that's a great awareness stint for every single man that was on site here today, to see that you're down here on site and that you haven't forgotten about the lads on the ground here, and that you are here on site, and that you're their organisation, which is kudos to yourself and fair play. Like, you know?
Coming down.
No,
Okay.
let's keep the communication lines open.
Yeah. All right. Listen, thanks so much, John.